Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Diva Roma's cooking show with me, Daphne Eiking, and I have with me my sales advisor who will also be joining us, as well as a special guest all the way from Lumut Perak. Yes, he's a Singaporean, but he's going to be joining us in his area, his beautiful venue, not area, but his beautiful, beautiful venue in just a bit. Today, guys, we're going to learn a little bit more about how you can sous vide using the all-in-one smart kitchen, the Thermomix TM6, guys. We're also going to be getting Suzie, who is going to tell us and share with us how you can make pasta. In fact, it's going to be Spaghetti Marinara, in fact. And we're also going to get tips from Reuben Chua on how you can plate your own cheese platter. Now, he is not a customer. He's not a sales advisor with Thermomix. But he is about like 50-50, wondering if he should get the Thermomix or not. So he's going to fire away some questions that he may have with regards to the Thermomix. And you at home can also share your concerns. If you are sitting on the fence about whether or not to invest in this smart all-in-one kitchen, then please do comment over our comment section, and we've got our team from Team Diva Romas to answer away, or if Reuben's going to be asking me questions, then I will try and answer on the spot. Okay, so we're going to be having all that. Now, first and foremost, just a disclaimer to those of you who are new to our show, I am a noob cook. I do not cook. I do not like to cook. Only reason being is because I think I macam terkecil hati sikit lah bila my husband kan, sorry baby, I know he's like behind the camera right now. He's your typical Melayu. He loves his curries. He loves his sambal. I'm your typical Sabahan, a Borneo girl at heart who prefers the soups and very much of her Chinese cuisine, where we do a lot of steaming and a lot of soups. But he's a Malay guy after all, and he loves his curries and sambal. So I try, this 11 years that we've been married, I've attempted to try some curries and stuff like that, but it was meh. I'm not, of course, dia sayang lah, but I know lah, bini dia kan. So I know lah when he thinks like it's not the best. And of course, he's been surrounded by fantastic chefs around him, his aunts, his mom. So I can understand why the meh, So macam tu, lepas tu I macam, lepas tangan, tak nak tengok. So animated sampai my earphone dah terjatuh, my earpiece. Okay, so I said, don't want already, tak nak masak dah. But last year during the MCO, when I had no helper because my helper was stuck in the kampong, she couldn't travel here. I was heavily pregnant. After that, I went through my confinement, and I was getting really sick and tired of not just ordering out, because there's only so much soup and steam that my husband can take can. So I had to order in for my curries and stuff like that, and it's a very expensive process. And also because I get very flustered when my husband does decide to cook his curries and sambals, because ya Allah, kitchen tu macam World War III macam tu. So I'm like, dude, because I like to clean. And I'm like, dude, I'm so tired. Aku baru beranak ni, y'all. Aku baru beranak. Kau nak mess up the kitchen, tapi dia nak juga sambal karis. And I saw this Thermomix being viralized over social media because everyone was staying safe at home. Everyone was purchasing the Thermomix. And I got jealous. Dengki ke? Ya, saya dengki. So in the end, by hook or by crook, I said, I'm going to get it. I purchased it last year and I've not looked back. All right? So having said that little disclaimer, this is probably the second time I've actually attempted doing the sous vide. All right, I've done it before with steak, but because of time, I've actually chosen salmon to do today because it's shorter the period and we're going to do it together, all right? So what I've done already in advance is to season my salmon inside, just salt and pepper. I put a bit of lemon, and then I've got my bay leaves. Now, I don't have a vacuum sealer, but later on I will show you how you can also vacuum seal your package, your sous vide package, I don't know if that's even the correct word, without having a vacuum sealer. I've actually ordered one from China, mainland, because cheap and good, you know, quality bagus, tapi dia tak sampai lagi lah. Tapi tak apa, kita ada alternatif untuk make that little sous vide package or to get that vacuum sealed packaging for your meats or proteins, okay? And what I've done also in advance is, because it takes a little bit of time, is that I've already added in the water. Instead, the recipe is actually in your cookie dough. What is a cookie dough? It is an integrated recipe platform that has over 70,000 recipes, and it is already integrated here. When I first joined, when I bought my Thermomix last year, it was about 50,000 or so recipes. Now it's over 70,000 and it is growing. Okay, the recipes are growing. You can also filter it out. Anywho, I filtered it out. I wanted the salmon sous vide, and the recipe where you just follow the prompts, as easy as that. I told you kan, saya tak pandai masak kan. So you just follow the prompts, pop, 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 pop. It actually recommends using the simmering basket, which is this. Okay. But because I've tried this with my steak the day before, I mean the last time I tried sous vide, I noticed that because my steak was a little bit bigger, it wasn't fully submerging in itself. So I've actually got a blade cover. So it covers the blade, the mixing knife inside your mixing bowl. Okay, done. And, hold on. And I've used that instead of using the simmering basket. So the next step is to warm up your sous vide, which takes about 50 minutes. And I've done that in advance before the show because we're trying to cut time. You're adding in some lemon or some absorbic acid, or is it vitamin C? Basically, you want to have a bit of lemon juice so that it doesn't oxidize your mixing knife, okay? Because of that long process of you sous viding, okay? And I've, of course, done the calculation of measurement already inside prior to me warming up my sous vide. Warming up my sous vide juice, water inside. And now that it's ready, I'm going to start sous viding. So inside, I'm just going to pop this in to submerge it properly. So it's just warm enough for you to prep the sous vide process. And I just press next. Place sealed bags, done. Insert measuring cup onto, this is a measuring cup, onto the lid. And then I just turn, and it's going to be there for 4 minutes. 4 minutes, good. Oh, 40 minutes. Oh, okay, just 40 minutes. All right, so 40 minutes. So while I am cooking or sous viding, I'm going to explain a little bit more about what sous vide is, as well as how you can actually create a DIY vacuum sealed bag for your proteins in just a bit. I'm going to pass the spotlight now over to my sales advisor, Suzie alias, who's going to be showing us how she cooks pasta or spaghetti marinara. Okay, over to you, Suzie.
Hi, Daphne.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for watching, everyone. Just now I was already heating the water for the to cook the pasta, but I'm gonna heat again. But I think it's gonna be done now. So what's good about this? We want to do pasta. It's not only that you have to use other pot that to cook the pasta. We can just use Thermomix to use everything. So I have used the pre-mode kettle just now to to boil the water. So I'm going to do the pasta cooking, which takes about 10 minutes. And before we do the sauce later. So that's another thought that we can cook pasta inside the mixing bowl. I never thought of that.
And just a little tip here, if you are just cooking your pasta here, okay, because let's say you've got leftover bolognese sauce and you're just going to heat that up, but now you just want to get your pasta done, make sure you put it over reverse mode, only because you want to ensure that the spaghetti doesn't get tangled up and later nanti susah nak keluarkan. But yeah, you just make sure that you pre-boil the liquid inside before popping it in, because you want to make sure that it's boiling first kan. And after that, you masukkan your pasta and follow the instructions of the pasta package. Betul tak, Suzie?
Betul. Oh, before that, we have to put a little bit of salt inside here. Okay, some of them put oil. Some of them, they still like some. There's a debate that you should put oil or not. I think Reuben also can answer with that. But I prefer to put oil inside my pasta when I cook, because I don't know, I've been from the day that I started to cook pasta, they taught me how to cook pasta. You have to put a little bit of oil inside. So I'm going to put oil. But there are people say that you don't have to put oil, you don't need to put oil, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think a lot of people put oil or butter inside because they want to separate the pasta. Now, if you are using the conventional method where you have to stay there next to your wok and then turn it around so that it won't melekat. So that's the reason why I think a lot of people opt to have that butter or oil. But yeah, you're right. Some people prefer having it. Some say you don't really need it. But if you prefer using olive oil or butter, then it's fine to do so. But we would love to hear your comments. If you do use oil or if you use butter, tell us if you do and tell us why you do it. And if you don't, tell us why you do that too.
Yeah. Okay. Inside the mixing bowls, I have 1,200 grams of water, which is already boiled earlier. So I'm using it for 10 minutes, and then for 100 degree Celsius you have to put the reverse mode, as Stephanie said, otherwise your pasta will be hancur everything. For 1. Okay. While wait for you, it's going to be 10 minutes, Stephanie. So over to you, maybe that's we can.
Okay, oh yeah, I dah popet with you. I lupa pula what I wanted to showcase. Okay, so we're going to go back to me while waiting for her pasta. That's going to take about, berapa instruction dia? 10 minutes kan, Suzie?
The instruction says 6 to 7 minutes, but just now I think that this pasta the detail, so I put for 10 minutes dulu.
Okay, fine. Let's do that so that you want to ensure that it's not, but yeah, too soft also lah. So she'll check and she'll just update me as and when, okay? So mine, I've got another 35 minutes. So whilst we wait for Suzie's pasta to habis, before I go back to her. Now, if you do not have a vacuum sealer at home, but you want to do sous vide, this is actually a technique that was shared to me by my team, my team leader, my branch manager, interim branch manager, Fiza, and she said that this is another alternative if you don't have it and you don't want to have another appliance at home because you're not someone that sous vides a lot, so you don't want to invest in another vacuum sealer. I have actually, but I'm still waiting for it from mainland China. So this is like a smaller version of how it can be done, right? So let's bayangkan lah, benda ni you punya protein, okay? Or your meats, your salmon, your steak. So what you want to do is, number one, your plastic bag, has to be BPA free, all right? They do have specific sous vide plastic bags, but you can also get high quality Ziploc bags in the market if you don't have, again, a vacuum sealer with those specific sous vide plastics. I've got this because Suzie and I decided to do this little demo, virtual demo, like a day ago, and I was not able to go and get everything ready in time. So I'm just going to do with whatever I have at home. So what you do is you just seal your package and then you leave a bit of gap here. Now what you do is you just slowly submerge it in, and then the pressure will sort of, oh dia macam terbuka juga. Okay, dia akan push the extra air inside the bag so that it actually creates a little vacuum. And then when you think that all the air has escaped, just before you hit the water, because you don't want water going in, right? You seal this bag. And again, this is quite a flimsy Ziploc version that I have, so I'm really hoping that my salmon is going to be okay, because that's exactly what I did earlier on. And I did it with a bigger baldi, but my baldi yang memang macam baldi yang besar lah, yang boleh cuci kain punya kan. And that's just it, you know. A lot of people think that, oh, when I have to do sous vide, I have to get all these changi-mangi vacuum sealers and stuff. No, there are alternative ways. And do you know that this sous vide mode is just one out of the 20 features that the Thermomix is? It's not just an expensive blender. It is a sous vide machine also. And you can, if you know in the market, a good sous vide appliance would cost 2,000-3,000 ringgit. So it's definitely worth it. So there you go. It sort of vacuums your meats here. Again, it's not like the best version because I'm not using a deeper container, but because of the benefit of this demo, I wanted you guys to see what's happening at the front here. I use an actual baldi baju because it's deeper, the container, but then you wouldn't be able to see it. So that's just as simple as that. So you just put it in, and then the water will sort of push all the air out from the plastic or your package, and then you seal it in once you feel that all the air is out, okay? All right, how many more minutes do we have for your side, Suzie?
Another 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, can I continue talking first?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, kepada mereka yang tak pasti apa sebenarnya sous vide ni kan. Alright, it is a technique where you are like poaching. Okay, poaching inside sealed bags under very precise temperature, and then the water inside your cooking vessel, where in this case it is the Thermomix, will be able to circulate the water inside your cooking vessel, the Thermomix, your mixing bowl, and the temperature is going to be very consistent. One thing great about the Thermomix is that it always has perfect temperature, and that is the reason why, let's say you are doing your baking, for instance, yeah? You want to make sure that you activate the yeast at 37 degrees Celsius, which is very precise for it to be activated. You will be ensured that the yeast will be activated, provided your yeast is memang ni lah, dia janganlah yang you ambil yang yeast yang dah 19 kongkong years old ago, ataupun yang dah kena buka lama dah tak letak dalam freezer, okay, then I cannot help you lah, friend. But yes, that would be the perfect temperature for the yeast to be activated. And then there's also perfect temperature for caramelizing, for instance. If you're someone that loves to bake and create all these like lollipops and all those like caramelized. I know my daughter loves using it when she wants to make popcorn. And she's always causing a mess, satu, and then they're sticky tau, because like you overpanas it lah. But with this, you have the perfect temperature to caramelize it, and not only that, of course there's going to be a bit of browning that takes place because of the caramelizing, or browning because you are using high temperature settings. Ada mode, ada clean mode dekat sini. Either it's dough or it's browning or universal, something that you know macam nak bersihkan minyak-minyak yang you tumis dekat sini, yang boleh tumis, dia boleh tumis dan pecah minyak. You don't have to be at the stove and then macam penat, ketiak peluh or ketiak basah all already. You can actually leave your rendang. I love using this for my rendang. I think my rendang like is the best. My husband loves it, so I'm like, alright, score. And I just leave it for 1 hour, sempat buat makeup semua. By the time it's ready, it's done. It's as simple as that, okay? So the precise temperature of this Thermomix is able to function like a sous vide appliance or machine. And what I've done is I've used a blade cover instead of using the simmering basket for this. And what it's doing now is just sous videing at another 28 more minutes. Okay, so that is that. What else? Okay, the reason why people sous vide is simply because this method enables your proteins, in this case salmon or steak, all the juices, the natural juices of the meats will be there. It won't be... dia tak kena suck out keluar lah kalau you masak pakai wok and then it will drizzle out and everything. It's all going to be super cooked in its own juices, which makes this more moist, more juicy and much more tender. Admittedly, kalau you sous vide, mula-mula kalau ada, macam I lah terkejut berut jugalah when I did that for the first time with the steak. I said like, not very pretty after sous vide, because it's not like it's, we're so used to seeing it a little bit more garing and brown and stuff like that. So what you do is after you're done with the sous vide for your steak, or in this case the salmon, you can just maybe lightly sear it. Sometimes chefs out there, and I can ask Reuben, because I'm not a chef, I'm a noob chef. Some people use that macam dia punya, not machine gun lah, dia macam fire, bagi dia macam bagi dia crispiness gitu bah. And I think there's a reason also why you want to do that, especially for the steak. It's just to, I think, kill any funky monkey bacteria or whatever that might have loomed around during the sous vide, because the meat, of course, has been raw to now cooked via the sous vide, but just for what's the word for it? Just for safety reasons, then they will actually sear it or to burn it with that. Again, I will ask the chef later on, Reuben, as to what exactly that word is. But yes, how are we doing, Suzie?
So far so good. Another 1 minute, I think. Maybe I can stop.
Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, just very quickly. This is sous videing for 55 degrees Celsius. So bayangkan kalau you nak sous vide, to why it's so important to have a sous vide machine is because you want to ensure that the temperature is always correct. But because this Thermomix always has perfect temperature, that's the reason why you can also use this and use the sous vide mode in order for you to sous vide your meats and proteins. Okay, so it's going to be doing this for 40 minutes. Earlier on, I had warmed up the sous vide liquid for about 15 minutes, and now I've got another 26 more minutes before we can see the results. Yes, my darling. You want to watch TV, but Mama is here. Do you know that he actually has a Thermomix Kids? It's so cute. My cousin bought it for me all the way from Dubai, and he wanted to do a demo on milkshake. But then I don't have fresh milk. So I promise you that I will have milk for you, that you can do a demo with my friends, okay? Okay, main jauh-jauh. Alright, macam ni lah. I mean at the MCO time. Dah siap ke, Suzie?
Okay, lagi 5 seconds.
Oh, 5 seconds. Okay, I'll leave it now to you. Spotlight over to Suzie.
Alright, done. Okay,
ngam-ngam.
Right. So I'm going to move my camera to the other side so that you can see that's how to drain it in the varoma dish.
Fuh, tu cam yo.
Nampak lagi here a bit. Let me just move my laptop to the other side.
Oh, pandai you. I thought you using two cam. I'm like, fuh.
Oh, tak payah. Kita pakai je, bawa je laptop kat sini.
Alamak, I lupa pakai punya apron. Baru I perasan. I tengok you pakai apron, I tak pakai apron lagi.
Laptop. Nampak dapur ayam bersepah ni. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Aroma dish. To strain it. So it's very easy then. Yeah.
Okay, so now you are using the varoma dish. The varoma dish is something that you use when you're using it to steam your proteins, your vegetables. So this Thermomix can actually do multi-cooking all in one go. You can actually cook a whole meal, a complete meal, by cooking your rice kat bawah, put in your simmering basket, letak dalam sana. Lepas tu dekat atas, that varoma dish that you have, the deeper version, the deeper side of it, you put in your proteins, maybe your salmon or your chicken bits, okay? And then on top, you put in your vegetables. Dia boleh masak semua. I know people have tried the Hainanese chicken rice, which is fantastic. Oh, there you go. Sorry,
there
I
you are.
pop it. There you go. The pasta is done.
This is my first time that I cook pasta inside. I just let them go. Let's say kalau tak jadi kan,
Coy, jadi.
Everything habis I punya life. So yeah. So alright, I'm gonna wash this. Just rinse. I don't have to like wash this.
Semua dapat keluar tadi? Your pasta.
Sikit lah.
You know why I specifically told you guys to ensure that you go in reverse mode? It doesn't actually hancurkan kalau you use the mixing, going on the normal, oh my god, sorry, brain dead, non-reverse lah basically, okay? But it will be harder for you to remove the pasta from the mixing knife. So it's easier if you go reverse. Plus, it'll be much more nicer.
You just rinse it.
Okay, we've got a public. Who? All right. So Atilia Harun is in the house. Okay, so Atilia is asking us a question. Is it worth buying if you are already someone who is able to cook professionally? Do you know that we've got master chefs, Michelin chefs all around the world who also has not just 1 but 6 Thermomixes in their kitchen? So it's used not just in their residence but also commercially, because it does a fantastic job in assisting them during their cooking. Of course, those who do purchase the Thermomix and you're using it in a commercial setting, the warranty will be a year. If you're using it for home use, it will be for 2 years. So that's just a little reminder to those out there. I know someone in a studio that I shot an ad with my daughter a few months ago, where they had like 6 Thermomix in his studio. And initially I thought, they're sales advisor ke? Is this person like, it's selling Thermomix? No, he uses it for his cooking demos.
Okay.
So yes, it's definitely worth buying.
You guys start
Sorry,
with
Suzie.
the pasta sauce now, the marinara
Yes, please.
sauce. Okay. I'm gonna put garlic and then onion. I put half onion and chili, and then we chop for about 5 seconds for speed 7.
All right, in this case, Suzie has put in the garlic, right? Garlic cloves. Because of time, she's actually prepared it unpeeled. But do you know that you can also unpeel bawang-bawang dengan garlic segala with your Thermomix? One thing I hate about cooking, and that's why I like everything in soup, because tidak payah banyak-banyak tu bawang semua, is memotong tu bawang semua. You can actually do that in a big volume using the Thermomix, and we will show you how when you join our team. In fact, this video is showcasing it, so that's one thing great also. You can actually remove the kulit begitu saja ba. We're not doing that demo today because of time, but yeah, in most of our physical demos or in our virtual demos, we can show you how you can actually unpeel your garlic so tak busuk tanganmu. Unless sometimes some people maybe suka lah, dia suka yang garlic-garlic macam tu kan, tapi tak apa. I don't, so I'd rather let the machine do everything. All right, so she's added that in. What's next, Suzie Q?
Saute, one that we have blend just now. So I'm gonna put the olive oil. I'm gonna scale it for, my scale, for 60. I'm using the scale that we have here. I'm gonna scale about 50 grams of olive oil. So you wait until it's 0 rise, and then you put the olive oil.
Now, one of the other features of the Thermomix is that it has a weighing scale. So you can actually weigh, blend, mince, mix, sous vide, caramelize, macam-macam lagi, okay? So it has a weighing scale. The weighing scale is actually on the kaki of your Thermomix unit. So orang-orang yang baru bakal dapat unit baru dia, please do not drag your Thermomix. Angkat dia, sayangi dia, jangan drag dia, okay? And you're using olive oil, right, Suzie?
Yes, I'm using olive oil. Then saute it for 2 minutes on the 120,
I think, kalau tak silap.
100. Hundreds only. Hundreds saja.
Ooh, okay. We've got someone asking. Her name is Anne. Anne, is it? Anne Ritz. Okay, Anne Ritz wants us to do a demo on salted caramel popcorn. You know what? You gave me just an idea. Maybe I'll do that for this Saturday show at 10:30 a.m. with my group Diva Aromas, because we're going to be talking about desserts for that Saturday. Okay, so yes, I will put that in note. Papa, just remind me, salted caramel. Okay. Now, very quickly, Suzie, the reason why we use olive oil is because it's supposed to be a healthier option of using an oil in your cooking, right? Tapi masalah dia, bila kita pakai olive oil dalam wok biasa, we cannot control the setting of the temperature. Betul tak, Suzie?
Alright, true. We cannot control the temperature when if it's too hot, then we will not get the
optimal
nutrients. Right.
In fact, it's more toxin tau. Toxin.
Yeah, that's
toxic.
what I baca pun, I pun ada. I read about that. I think that maybe those are expert about this can put in a comment. And I think I have my ex-boss inside watching, Hamid Maulana. He's a good, I don't know whether he's still watching or not. Let me see. He's a good chef. No, he was there just now. Oh no, I don't know. I can't see it from my phone.
Yeah, just going back to the olive oil, kan? Because of the perfect temperature setting, we're using it to saute the garlic right now at 120 degrees Celsius. So it's not overburning, because when it goes beyond 180 degrees Celsius, kalau tak silap saya, you're actually, because olive oil is not a high temperature cooking oil, okay? You're actually, it's not going to be nutritious because it actually could be toxic for your cooking, for yourself. But with this, it's always maintaining at 120 degrees Celsius. In Suzie's case, you're sauteing it at a perfect temperature. And also the same when you're sauteing or steaming vegetables. At the end of the day, you want to ensure that you're eating your vegetables for its nutrients. Kalau you masak dekat wok, kadang-kadang dia overcook. And then you're killing all the nutrients inside it. So you have the fiber, so that's fantastic. But you're not getting the full Optimus Prime, boleh? The optimum nutrients of it. Okay, back to Suzie. I dengar dari dia music gitar tu.
You dengar gitar tu kan? Okay. And I'm gonna put the sauce. This is only that I can find it in this area here. So again, this one I'm going to measure here about we need about 600.
Spaghetti sauce. Okay.
Yeah.
It's raining over here, tapi panas nak mampus. So I hope you guys can hear us. Well, me lah at least, because I know you both are in Lumuts.
I want to come here when the MCO over. This beautiful place. I can go
I can't wait, man. I want to go diving. Can I stay in your place? I want to see Smokey, your cat. Alright, so you're adding in the tomato sauce. And one thing great, guys, is that you can actually create all these raw ingredients from scratch using your Thermomix. It's also there in your cookie dough. We've also got a recipe recipe sharing community that will be able to assist you and to give you all these ideas on how you can make your own homemade jams, yogurts, breads, pastas, sauces. So I make my own tomato paste, and I think that's a little bit more healthy in that sense, because my son Elon is very sensitive with his food. He's got a lot of allergens, so at least I know what I'm doing. Okay, what are you putting in there?
This one is a substitute. In the recipe, put wine, so I substitute with the vinegar. It's like here, 100 grams. This because I read it earlier, and then I'm going to put that. What else? So we have to look at the of course the seasoning. There's a bit of salt inside here. This one you can adjust it later, and a bit of pepper.
Wah, canggihnya you punya pepper.
Battery, yes, okay. Whatever it is, later we can add on. Okay. We're going to cook this for 20 to 25 minutes under 100 degrees on the reverse and spoon mode. later, when it's about to finish, about 5 minutes to finish, I'm going to add on the seafood. Because I use not a fresh seafood because I couldn't get a fresh seafood yesterday. I got it with a frozen one from Aeon. So I just need about 3 to 5 minutes. It's not going to be that long.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're just going to go back to me now?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to wait for her pasta sauce to habis, and then later on she's going to pop in her proteins inside her marinara sauce. In the meantime, guys, I am very delighted to be inviting our next guest. He is not a customer yet. He's not a sales advisor, so he's going to actually ask me some raw and real questions live, and I'm going to try, and me and my team are going to try and answer him as truthfully as we can based on our knowledge using the Thermomix so far. So please welcome Reuben Chua. He is one of the co-founders of theark events. He has this beautiful place in Lumut. He caters, he does, he creates events, beautiful, beautiful ones. Go and stalk them over their Instagram and page. Reuben, hello, good afternoon.
Hey Daphne, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Right. Okay,
that looks beautiful. I love what you have at the background. I mean, it beats this boring white thing that I have. You've got like a lovely setting over there.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Reuben, before we go into any of questions that you may have, that's one. And number two, before you teach us some tips on plating your cheese platter, can I ask you a few questions before we begin?
Yeah.
Okay, ni nak macam tanya lah. You are Singaporean kan? What made you decide to leave Singapore and come to small town Lumut to live your life here? I mean, of course, Malaysia the best. Okay, that's like a little joke between Singaporeans and Malaysians in case you guys didn't understand that little dry humor, but yes. Why?
Okay, firstly, my wife is, and her house is in Sitiawan. And so we decided to build our business in Lumut, which is nearby Sitiawan. Yeah, I came here about almost 10 years ago already. And I really love staying here. It's very relaxing. It's not so fast-paced like Singapore. Yeah, I do miss Singapore for its efficiency, cleanliness, and safety. But here is a very beautiful place to stay. Yeah, I really love it.
And what does theark do?
Okay, theark, we have a few buildings on this 5-acre plot of land. The main building was built in 1895 by the British. It was used as a chapel in the beginning. And in World War II, I don't know what happened over here. But after World War II, the government actually took over the building and the possession of the land. Yeah, so it was used as a land office, courthouse, and police quarters for about 40 years odd, somewhere there. In the 90s, they moved to Manjung. And this land was left vacant for 20 plus 30 years until we took over then in late 2019. And we are slowly developing the land now. Yeah, our main hall is a colonial style British building. And we have renovated it with contemporary effects, so it looks very like colonial, modern kind of building. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time to actually download some of the beautiful pictures of your gorgeous venue. But guys, go and check them out over their Instagram, stalk them over the website, and then you will know exactly what I mean by saying, oh my God, ya Allah, lawanya. In fact, Reuben, I've decided that that's going to be my place where I'm going to renew my vows with my husband, inshallah. Okay? All right, so today you're going to be teaching us how to plate. Because at the end of the day, I can cook with my Thermomix, but then kalau nak ambil gambar tu, bila nak plating tu, ya Allah, fail. Tak cantik. So can you give us some tips, easy, 101, on how you can make your plate cantik, garnish it nicely? Over to you, Reuben.
Okay. For now, I have a cheese platter. But if let's say you have a main course to plate, normally you go by odd numbers and you go by 3-sided or 5-sided. Yeah, normally go by 3-sided. For now, we have a cheese platter. I have 3 cheeses. I have the brie, French brie, I have also the Swiss Gruyere and also the Danish Gouda. Okay, for this cheese platter is our smallest platter in the ark, and the plating style always differs from platter to platter. My guest wants. Yeah, so now I have some condiments that I will add on to this half-finished cheese platter. To save time, I already did it halfway. Okay, first I'll use the grapes. Yeah, normally we take a bunch of grapes. It goes very well with cheeses. We can place it at the corner. Yeah, to create some height and effect at the back. Okay, next you have strawberries. Strawberries, just throw it all over the platter as and where you like it. Yeah, normally you go by odd numbers, so I'll put maybe 5 to 7 pieces. Oops. Okay, normally I normally do bigger platters, so I'm not very used to the small ones. Yeah. Okay. All right, then we have some apricots, dried apricots. What you want to do is to create color on the board, so it looks very nice when you take a photo. And you have dried cranberries, just scatter. Dried blueberries as well. Okay, there you go. That's my cheese platter. Yeah.
Simple as that. So I think the key to it, Reuben, is basically to find a few colors just so that it pops. I mean, everyone's doing their not outfit of the day, food. I don't even know what the millennials call it anymore lah. Basically, they're all going food crazy lah, taking pictures and everything. It's not about the food anymore, about eating. It's all about taking the nice shots, all for the gram. But yeah, I guess in your case, it's all about colors. Is that right? And then spreading it out?
Yes, we have a lot of lady customers at our place. They like to come here for high tea. They like to catch up over a few hours, just drinking tea and having some light bites, like our cheese platter, high tea sets, or even some canopies. In the future, maybe if you have time, I'll show you some of the canopies that we do here as well. Yeah. For now, this is my cheese platter.
That's like your signature, right?
Yeah.
And right now, are you guys open at least for catering, or is it completely no closed?
We are closed for the whole period of the MCO, so I'm actually focusing more on my landscapes now. I've actually been focusing too much on the kitchen the last year, and my landscape was a bit neglected. So right during this MCO, I have a gardener with me as well. We work together and we get the place more beautiful. Yeah, plant with more plants, do more landscapes.
Oh, that's so interesting, because I'm actually in the midst of trying out my hand in aquascaping. My husband's very much into fish right now, and I've got a little small garden in my concrete jungle that I'm living in this apartment, but there's only a small plot that I have. So yeah, it's very interesting. I should hook up with you, because if you like landscaping and stuff, I'm sure you've got some tips on how I can, Do you have a pond there, or like a little water feature at the Ark?
Yes, I have currently 5 ponds. 5 ponds. One main pond, the koi pond. Yeah, it's right outside the building that I'm staying in. Yeah.
Okay, I've got about 4 more minutes for my sous vide. Reuben, I'm just going to ask you truthfully, what's stopping you from purchasing a Thermomix? I'm just curious, and my team is very curious to know, what exactly is it?
Okay, I don't think anything's stopping me, but I'd like to find out how many preset functions can you install in Thermomix?
Preset, okay. In this case, okay, well, they've got the sous vide, they've got the fermentation mode, where you can make yogurts. You can make jams and stuff like that. I've not actually tried the fermentation mode also because there's just so many recipes to explore. Let me see if I can remember. We've got the slow cook. So you can actually slow cook your soups and stuff like that. The conventional way is either you get a slow cooker kan, ataupun you use macam that clay. You see, nampak sangat bukan masak kan. Yang what do you call that, Papa? That balang yang you pakai dengan arang. Then they macam kick, so you have that option also. You can leave it overnight, and it will safely slow cook from 8 hours all the way to 12 hours if you're doing fermentation. What else does it have? It has a rice cooker. It has a kettle. It has a warming function. So let's say you want to warm up your baby food, for instance, or your jams or whatever that needs be. Then it has that also. Let me see. The kettle was quite interesting because I always thought that if you're making green tea, for instance, you just pour lah your boiled water from the kettle kan. Tapi apparently got a specific temperature for your green tea to have its most optimal flavor and taste. You don't want to be killing the taste. I didn't know that. And you can also brew your coffee. Of course, it is also a blending machine. It can mince, it can mill, it can grind, it can caramelize. It has sugar stages. It has high temperature cooking. So a lot of people ask me, can it fry my chicken? It can't fry your chicken, but let's say you want to have crispy garlic slices, so you want to make garlic oil. It comes out beautifully. We have just introduced the Asian high temperature collection, which you can save in your cookie dough with some more other collections that you have to be chosen, and you can auto save it into your cookie dough whether you're using your device or your mobile, or you can actually do it by using the screen over here. The difference between the TM5, which is the model before this, with this, is that of course now it has everything integrated into the system. Before this they had like a cook key, where you will have to purchase the cookie every time you want to have a new collection or a new recipe and stuff like that. So they've got that insertion there. But now everything is here, and it will always constantly update the software because they're constantly trying to improve. So it's not like, you know how if you buy, for instance, an iPhone and you're upgrading or you're updating the software, right? There's only so much upgrading that you can do before you need to upgrade to an actual new model phone. Because macam dia tak boleh dah. So this is great. It does its software updates as and when, everywhere around the world it will do it. So sometimes when you buka you punya Thermomix, then you'll say there software update required. So if you're not cooking, then you can actually update it. It takes a few minutes, provided that you've got a very good, strong Wi-Fi connection. Other than that, if it pops out suddenly while you're cooking, then just do it later. Because you don't want to while you're cooking and then you press kan, and then macam software update, it might take about 2 to 10 minutes, I don't know, depending on your Wi-Fi connection. So you don't want that. So that's one of the things also, one of the plus points. It has an egg boiler cooker. So sometimes some people want it to be soft, some people want it to be hard. I like mine hard. And so that's also another option because then you can choose it. It has a pre-clean mode. So again, if you are cooking benda-benda yang minyak macam tu kan, macam ya Allah tolonglah nak bersihkan, then my sponge pun dah oily and then nak kotor lagi kan. So here you just put maybe a tiny bit of dishwashing liquid and then put it on universal mode, and then it will just clean by itself because it sort of heats it up, and then at least 90% of your cleaning is done. You still have to rinse it obviously, and maybe there's a bit of yang tak kena kan, mungkin ke atas, but definitely it helps with the cleaning much more efficient. What else? And so even if you're doing your kneading, okay dah. If you're kneading your dough, biasanya kalau nak menguli tu penat nak mampus, okay? And then kadang-kadang because again of the ingredients or the yeast, if you are in a kitchen with aircon and then nanti terlampau sejuk pula susah because when you uli dia macam dia tak boleh activate kan. Ataupun kalau lah macam my house, my kitchen is really near to where the sun always shines on me, dia tak terlampau panas pula, tapi di dalam sini dia punya perfect temperature tu it will enable it to be activated and diuli not 30 minutes, not 15 minutes, but as minimum needing as 2 minutes sahaja. Any more other questions, Reuben?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's say you have 5 different pasta recipes, and each recipe cooks at different timing. Maybe one is 7 minutes, one is 9 minutes, one's 15, one's 20. Can you store all those into the preset functions in the machine? And then so when you want to
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
so let's say you want to cook a pesto spaghetti that needs 17 minutes. You just like select pesto spaghetti and it cooks by itself. You throw out all the ingredients and it cooks according to the preset stored
I see.
timing. Yeah.
Okay, so when we're using the guided cooking using your cookie dough, it will have the prompts. So when it comes to your pasta part, it will actually say there, cook according to the instructions on the package. So in Suzie's case, she saw the package, it should be about 6 to 7 minutes. So from there, that one manually, you have to put 6 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
So if you want it to be longer, because maybe, I don't know. But normally for me, I've tried the pasta and it's quite it follows the instruction of the package, because what you've done is, or what the machine has done is, it will boil it first, and then once you put in the pasta, then you just follow the cooking instructions according to the package, how many minutes. So that one you have to manually, okay, 10 minutes macam tu.
Right.
So you will not manually override per se the recipe, because the prompts will be there for you to follow. Tapi in that particular section, when it says, okay, cook your pasta according to the instructions on your package, it'll be there. So again, it'll prompt you. But you can't preset it per se.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that it?
Questions I have. Yeah, because
right.
actually, sister has the same Thermomix in Singapore, and she actually explained to me how it works already.
Which model is it?
The previous model, right? Not the newest
TM6.
one.
Do you know, Reuben, that I've got my branch manager, she has the TM31. She had it, her husband then gifted it to her 13 years ago. Was it 12 or 13 years ago? And it's still functioning. So she's got that. She's got the TM6. So yeah, a lot of people think that ni macam dibuli ke, dibuli tahan ke, it can. All right, I'm so glad you've joined us, and I really thank you for giving us some tips on how to play it, and I really appreciate the questions that you've asked. Thank you so much, Reuben. Continue to watch us, yeah? You could just stay on first. And I can't wait to get married in your venue. Later, that one kita PM tepi, okay? Kita PM tepi.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you once again to Reuben. Suzie, are you done with yours? Oh, Suzie Q. Oh, Suzie Q. God. You can now unmute yourself, Suzie Q, so I can hear you. All right, ada. Yes.
Okay, I punya dah siap.
Yay.
Apa nak makan? Come.
Tak adil lah. Okay, nak tengok. Tak nampak lah, babe. Alright. Because takut dia terspill. Okay.
Put on the plate, then you can see.
Alright, so you're going to pour it over the pasta that you have prepared in advance. And actually, guys, whilst we're waiting for her to pour it, I know there's some questions that come in. They said, you know, what if I'm cooking and then nanti when I cook one thing, it's already sejuk, you know? So what I have is thermo servers, or you can actually purchase, you know, plates or dishes or containers that is able to retain the heat. In our case, Thermomix actually has thermo servers, which is fantastic because it is able to keep hot food hot and cold food cold. All right, so in this case, if she had pasta, she wanted to keep that it's panas still while waiting for the sauce to come in, then she could have put it in her thermo server. Anytime you're ready, you can tell me, Suzie. If not, I'm going to keep talking. And another thing is, Dah. Okay. Oh, dah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Reuben to help me to do how to do. Give me the tip how to do the plating. Nampak ni, I punya. So, I letak banyaknya. Okay, this is supposed that who's going to eat this?
How does that look? I don't know if Reuben's still with us. Oh, Reuben, what do you think?
Okay, wait. I have to clean this.
Takut ni. Suzie ni perfectionist sikit.
Ni, okay. The chef is watching. Okay, I want to show this. This one, I got it. This one from the ark. I took it yesterday.
Oh, he's got a herbal garden.
Deal. So I'm going to use this to do for the garnishing. I saw Reuben use this a lot for their garnishing. So
nice.
Mana tu?
Reuben's like looking intently, like, come on, my padawan.
How is it? Reuben, comment please.
Now both of them, both Suzie and Reuben are in Lumut Setiawan dekat Perak. Betul lah sebut.
I think I get the class from
Oh,
him.
Pangkor Island, sorry. Near. How? Reuben, pass or not, Reuben?
Yeah, for starters, I think it's okay. But the deal you should be together. You don't separate the deal.
Okay, like this.
Put it together. Yeah.
How?
In the middle.
Oh, put together.
See? Kita
Yeah,
tak tahu.
So yeah, it looks better by itself.
And then the clam?
This is mussel.
Is that? Oh, mussel lah. Okay,
Mussel.
sorry. Nampak sangat tak masak. The clam how? How would you have plated that, Reuben?
It depends. If you want a very neat plate, then you can put the clams together in a row, and then you put some shrimps, and then the spaghetti got twirl it and put it like a dish.
So twirl the spaghetti. That's
Twirl the
something that
spaghetti
we learned.
Oh, okay. But now I can't do it anymore because I already have.
No, you can't.
Unless I eat it through lah kan.
Yeah. Next time I'll show you.
Okay. One day we have the class in the ark, and then I'll do another demo there.
All right,
Wait,
thank you so much, Suzie. Okay, Reuben, just hang in there because now I'm going to show you my sous vide. Dah siap pun. Ni lah, the only thing is I'm doing this in my second floor living room, and I forgot to bring my tongs and whatnot because macam dah rushing sikit tadi. So, I just want to ask you, Reuben, what is the reason why we should sear our meats? I mean, besides the fact that we want to make it more cantik because we're so used to seeing it a little bit more crispy and brown, but what is the other reasons why we need to grill it or use that? What do you call that? Yang the api, the...
Sorry, I don't get you.
Oh, sorry. Am I talking too fast? This Malaysian from Sabah talks a bit fast. You know how when you're sous videing, right?
Yeah.
Especially steaks, it doesn't come out as pretty when it comes out from the sous vide because dia masih macam nampak mentah. It still looks a bit raw. So, yes, one of the reasons why we grill it or we use that, what do you call that? That like that burner. What is that? Is that a torch? Yes, a torch, right? Is there any other specific reasons why we have to do that?
For me, I normally grill it to keep the juices inside. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a flash grill on both sides, just to seal the juices in the meat.
Okay, so in this case, for my salmon, should I do that too or tak payah?
You could flame it a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to remove my bay leaf. So I'm going to be doing that later on. But it is done. I wish I brought a knife. The thing is, because I am not using a quality Ziploc pack, because again, this was like thought up in hours. And I wanted to do it, but you know, we're MCO, I couldn't go and look for it. But the best that I could do. So it's cooked beautifully. It looks all right on my end, but I will be using it to flash grill it. Other than that, do we have any questions from either Reuben or from our viewers at home, Joe? Nothing? Okay. Reuben, anything else you want to add on? Tips or anything at all with before we say goodbye?
Okay, for salmon, normally I will bake it in the oven in a foil, and then I'll just serve it as it is. It's very juicy and tender. And always put butter. Always put butter on your meats. Butter actually
Before the sous vide or after?
Before cooking. Actually, whenever you cook the pan, put dash a scoop of butter on the top of it. Yeah, even salmon, before you bake it, I'll put butter on the top of the salmon. So actually the meat becomes juicier and more tender.
And I love butter.
Yeah, butter is perfect.
All right, so that is one thing. If you have the guided cooking, it actually just says salt and pepper and a tinge of lemon and put bay leaf. But here, if you are already familiar with some of your own recipes, you memang tahu your own tekak kan? In this case, it's Reuben saying he likes putting the butter inside. By all means, even though it's a guided cooking method, you can add in your own touch, something that you're already familiar with. All right, so like Suzie was saying, the recipe required white wine. Maybe you can omit it, or maybe you can substitute it with... What is the best substitute for white wine, Reuben?
Normally I do grape juice or apple juice.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so apple juice or grape juice. I've actually used coconut cider vinegar because that's all I had in house. Ideally, what is the reason of that wine? There must
acidity.
be a reason. So desu ne. Okay then, thank you so much again, Reuben. Thank you, Irene. Thank you to the Ark for joining us here today. Suzie, do we have anything else you want to add on before we say goodbye to all our viewers at home?
No, I think that's all covered. Thank you, Reuben, for agreeing to have the live with us. Yeah, we definitely will do again next time after the MCO. We want to do it at the Ark, this beautiful place, and we can showcase all your place there.
I would love to do that live with you. And Reuben, if you don't mind, if you can be like one of our regular guests on our show, that would be fantastic if you're willing to.
Yeah,
Mana tahu by then you got your Thermomix. Hint. Okay, Reuben now diam. Just putting him on the spot there. All right, again, thank you so much to Suzie. Thank you so much to Reuben and Irene. And I think they've got another partner watching, but I'm so sorry. It just like sort of lost my mind right now. But thank you. I can't wait to go and visit you guys once the travel restrictions are over. I'm dying to go diving. But until that happens, I'm more than happy to see you guys virtually and to cook up a storm with you guys and to learn more tips and tricks from the chef himself. Thank you once again, Suzie. Thank you so much, Reuben. In the meantime, I need to go and flash grill my salmon. It's been a pleasure hosting this virtual Diva Aromas cooking show with all of you guys. We'll be back at 10:30 on Saturday, as well as Diva Aromas Team Denai Alam team will also be showcasing their cooking show at 3:30. More details over my Instagram, Grand for the Cook. This is Daphne Iking signing out. Let's go thermomixing, guys, and be divas. Bye.
That's good. Thank you, Reuben.
Thank you. Welcome.
Bye.